All right, you guys, welcome back. We are in chapter 9 today, which is going to be placement. So let's talk about it. Lesson 9.1 is going to be all about healthy lashes versus baby lashes. So healthy lashes, I think you're going to be able to tell, but they're the lashes in their catagen or their telogen phase. And these are just your long, standard sized lashes that are just look good and healthy. They're thicker, they're longer at the base, they're very stable, and they're flexible. So those are the lashes you want to lash. Obviously, those are the perfect lashes to lash in. If you see baby lashes, I think it's really easy to tell even if you're starting out, but just a little shorter baby ones, those are the ones that are in their anagen phase, and you want to kind of leave those alone because you want them to be able to fully grow out by themselves. They're usually shorter, of course, finer, and a little bit more delicate, so you don't want to touch those ones. This really matters because it's going to affect your retention. You want to be lashing the stronger, healthier lashes. It prevents damages. You don't want to put something too heavy on a baby lash and then it's going to damage the baby lash, and it's going to last longer. Again, retention. So it'll be healthier, and for the long term of somebody that's getting lashes, it's going to be better for them. Lesson 9.2, placement and direction. I kind of talked about this previously with the sets already in chapter 7, but placement really matters. You can literally place a fan or a classic lash on top, on the side, or on the bottom of their natural lash. Honestly, it's preference for the artist. Artists just have their own way that's easier and that they see better retention with. There are some specific things which we'll talk about where one placement might be better for the other, but placement is very, very important. Like I also mentioned in the styling chapter, working with the different lash direction that they're going, different natural lash direction, your placement can create more uniformity and symmetry in the set. So placement-wise, placement rules where you have to follow it is when we put the extension on the natural lash, we want the spacing from the skin or the base of the natural lash to the extension to be 0.5 to 1 millimeter. So tiny, tiny, tiny. You kind of want to get it as close to the root of the lash as possible without touching the skin. You don't want to place it too far up. That's going to fall off. It's also going to be too heavy for the natural lash to support. You want to make sure that at least 2 millimeters on the extension is adhered to the natural lash itself, right? So you do want to dip it in maybe like 1.5 millimeter of glue, 2 millimeters max, and you want to make sure that much of the extension is adhered to the natural lash. Like we said, you can literally put it top, side, or bottom, but the most popular is going to be the top because a lot of people's lashes do kind of just grow naturally down. So putting it on top is going to allow for the lashes to support it. Bottom placement, if you guys have clients that have very curly lashes, if you put it on top, it's just not gonna stay or adhere as well. So you wanna put it on bottom so the extension can cup it and support it that way. Side placement, some people just prefer side placements, but again, like I've talked about previously, side placement is gonna be really great for lashes that grow different ways. If you need it to go the way you need it to go for the direction of the set, put it on the side that supports that. With lashing, it's all about the details, which is why I love it. All the little details play a huge impact on the set itself. So you want to follow the natural lash line, of course, match the curve and direction that will enhance and give the look that the client wants. You want to hold the extension on there for 1 second, really, 1 to 2 depending on the time of your adhesive, but you want to kind of hold it there for a second so it can adhere, it can cure, and then you can pull out without getting any stickies. You can also, with placement, you guys, adjust the client's head. So if I'm working on one eye, I kind of move the client's head a little bit over this way so that it's easier and the lashes go up for me, and then move it, according with the second one. You can balance out slanted lashes. I talked about that before. And then you can fix any crisscross or gaps that the lashes have, the natural lashes. So let's say their eye, they kind of have a gap in the middle because they were like picking their lashes out, or it's just baby lashes and you don't want to lash it there. You can put 2 fans facing inwards towards one another, and that covers that gaps. And there you go. You now have a little bridge, is what we call it, a lash bridge. And then no one can even tell that there was a gap before. So it's a great way to utilize placement to, again, give your client what they need or what they want. Take your time with placement. It's not the easiest thing. It definitely takes time, but we would say if you're starting out, top placement is going to be the easiest. Lesson 9.3 is a video of how to correctly place a fan, which we will put on the screen somewhere. So I won't go over that too much because it's kind of just showing the placement and direction we just talked about. Lesson 9.4 is wrapping. Wrapping is so important, you guys. Sometimes you don't have to. There's some lashes like YY where it actually purposely has a boxier base because that will sit and stay onto the lash better. But if you are using a volume fan, whether that's, if you're creating volume fans or fans, you want the base of the fan to wrap onto the natural lash. So a fan is like this, right? And they're all free fibers that are staying together because of you holding that tweezer and the pressure of the tweezer. When you dip in glue, they all come together, but they're not cured yet, right? The glue hasn't dried fully. So they're still a little bit flexible. So when you bring it to the natural lash and you kind of press that base on, that's what we call lash wrapping. Imagine this is of course this is a fan, but imagine this is the base and it has glue, but it's not fully stuck yet. It's coming like this, and then it is wrapping itself around that natural lash. And that would be considered perfect placement because it is going to, if you can lash wrap, and it does take some time and skills and expertise, but if you can do that, the retention is absolutely amazing. So some benefits of lash wrapping, obviously retention is the most notable one, but it also enhances surface area contact because the whole fan is on that extension now. It holds the natural lash. It's almost one with the natural lash, so it gives a very uniform look. It reduces tension on the bond itself because it's evenly distributed around that natural lash, so the weight isn't like all on one side or on the bottom holding it down. It's distributed weight. And then the max comfort for the client because again of the distribution of weight. Well, yeah, how to lash wrap, you just make your fan, you isolate, you dip it in glue, you place it, whether you're going from up, down, side, and then you hold it there for a second and gently shimmy or kind of push it, do a little micro wiggle, get that base on, and then let it go. And yeah, when you lash wrap really well when you brush through a set at the end, or you could brush through right after and nothing is popping out. That is the best feeling ever. And that's lesson 9.4. Lesson 9.5 is a video, so hopefully we will be playing it somewhere here while I'm talking about it in 9.4, but it's a video of just how to lash wrap. And then that's all for chapter 9, you guys. A very important one. I mean, all of these are so important, but placement is super, super important. So definitely go, pause, go take the quiz, chapter 9, and then we will come back for chapter 10, which will be all about prepping your clients. Taking the quiz is one of the things that you have to do to get your certification at the end, and you have to pass all the quizzes with 100% in order to have that fulfillment on the course online. So pause right here, go back if you need, reread if you need, and I'll see you in chapter 10.